PR Connections Radio presents.
Welcome to Vegas Hockey Hub here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. I'm your host, Ian Rakelli, and we have a good episode for everyone watching all around the world, as there's going to be another edition of our Prospect Watch. Now, for the people who are new to Vegas Hockey Hub, what we have been doing for the past 2 seasons is that at the beginning of every single month, we will be looking at the top prospects, and we'll actually be looking at the minor league report for the Henderson Silver Knights, Savannah Ghost Pirates. And what we do on this show is that we kind of spotlight a few players who you need to know who are having some good success in AHL or ECHL hockey. That is a member of your Vegas Golden Knights. So this is going to be another edition, our March edition of Vegas Hockey Hub's Prospect Watch. And we have 2 players from Henderson, 2 players from Savannah, and then towards the end of the show, we're also going to have a shout out to UNLV hockey as well, because there is actually someone I do want to spotlight from the UNLV Skating Rebels. Now, for anybody who does not follow PR Connections Radio, go to the website, prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. Check out all of the amazing content we have on the network. We have about a dozen shows on the platform, including Vegas Hockey Hub. So go to the website, prconnectionsradio.com, and check out all of the great content that is on this platform. So I highly recommend checking out our website, prconnectionsradio.com. You also go to our social media pages on PR Connections Radio. We have a YouTube channel, so if you could subscribe and like this video on PR Connections Radio YouTube channel, I would highly recommend just take a few seconds, hit the subscribe button, and we upload every single show to the PR Connections YouTube channel. So if you want to go to the YouTube channel and help out the network by subscribing, we have a bunch of good content on there, including Vegas Hockey Hub, which is Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. You also have shows like Cozy Stone, We Have the Power, Love of Business, Crypto and Cash, Watching Mental Health. There is so much amazing content on PR Connections Radio. So go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and go to the playlist tab, as we have in a very good and very nice order every show on the network. Also go to the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel, as we try to upload exclusive content onto the YouTube channel. So if you want to like and share to all of your friends all around the world, go to the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel. We do Vegas Hockey Hub shorts. We do Vegas Hockey Hub recaps. So after every single Golden Knights game, we recap that event on the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel. And then we also do some exclusive content as well that we only post on the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel. So go to the YouTube channel, like the videos, and share to all of your friends all around the world, as it helps Vegas Hockey Hub grow and expand and get bigger. So once again, go to the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel and like those videos and share to all of your friends, as we try to upload every single day to the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel. And then on the social media aspect, we are everywhere. So on Vegas Hockey Hub, we have a Facebook page where we try to interact and engage with all the people who follow Vegas Hockey Hub. So go to our Facebook page. We also have an Instagram account at Vegas Hockey Hub. So if you want to go to our Instagram, like and look at all the events that we go to for Vegas Hockey Hub, go to our Instagram page. We also are on X as well. So go to at Vegas Hockey Hub. We do live tweets. We interact. We try to engage everyone who supports the network. So go to our Twitter at Vegas Hockey Hub. And we have a TikTok now as well. So go to our TikTok at Vegas Hockey Hub. We post videos of all of the hockey events that we go to, regardless if it's the Vegas Golden Knights, Henderson Silver Knights, UNLV Rebels hockey, junior hockey, regardless of what it is. We upload videos to our TikTok account at Vegas Hockey Hub. We just set it up. I highly recommend going out and subscribing. So getting into the Vegas Golden Knights prospect watch. This is going to be a lot of fun to break down because the first player that we are going to discuss is someone who really has been helping out the Vegas Golden Knights in the NHL department, in the AHL department. He has been a solid addition to Vegas since they picked him up in the offseason as a waiver claim from Florida. And of course, I'm talking about Gregory Dyanchenko. And when it comes to Dyanchenko, he was a former first-round pick in 2018 by Florida, 15th overall. But what I like about Dyanchenko is this is a guy who has been doing relatively well as a member of the Henderson Silver Knights. And his statistics in Henderson has been really solid ever since being a member of your Henderson Silver Knights. Dyanchenko's stats this season, 14 goals, 40 points on the year, and he is not afraid to drop the gloves as well, as he has around 40 penalty minutes in 47 games for your Henderson Silver Knights. And Dyanchenko is someone where if you look at his stat sheet, but you actually break down the game logs himself, you will notice that he is a contributor every single night he is on the ice. Him being a top six forward in Henderson has allowed Dyanchenko to become a solid asset to the Henderson Silver Knights organization. And as somebody who is going to be 24 years old coming up soon, someone who was a former first-round pick, like I did mention, he has done a stand-up job in Henderson and in the AHL. So when it comes to Dyanchenko, I like what I've seen from him. He is someone who has shown in the past that he can help out his unit. Keep in mind that with Dyanchenko, this would be his fourth season playing professional hockey here in North America. He came over from Russia in the KHL in 2020, and he has actually had a very solid career as a NHLer / AHLer. As the year before in Charlotte, he had 12 goals and 24 assists in 2022-2023 for Charlotte. And this season, he has actually improved off of that, and his stats are actually better this year in less games than he did in Charlotte the year before. Now, one thing I do have to mention about Dyanchenko, which is something I find really impressive, and I actually think it's a lot of credit to him, is that Dyanchenko has also been on the Vegas Golden Knights as well. So Dyanchenko, this far this season for your Vegas Golden Knights, he has played 4 games this season. As he was recalled, he was sent up. And a fun fact about that, one of his first games ever he played in the NHL for Vegas was against his former NHL team that they gave away, and that was Florida. And he had a little bit of chirping. There was some good back and forth dialogue with his former teammates in Florida. But for Dyanchenko, he has done really solid for your Vegas Golden Knights as a part-timer on the bottom 6. But what really makes it incredible and what I really want to spotlight is what he has done in Henderson as a top 6 forward. Now, considering that he has 1 year left on his deal, we'll see what he does next year as well. But I do want to keep in mind that I posted the first photo for a reason. Dyanchenko is an AHL All-Star, as you saw right here. He was a 2024 AHL All-Star for Henderson alongside his teammate Adam Cracknell, who will not be on this list as he is not a prospect. But with Dyanchenko, he is someone who you could really spotlight and say that at near 24 years of age, he's only going to get better as time goes on. His career high is 40 points on the year, and I think it's actually going to go up from there. So I want to do a spotlight real quick, talk about Gregory Dyanchenko, because he is someone who you really need to pay attention to, not just the end of this year, but I highly recommend all of next year as well, as he is under contract for the Vegas Golden Knights until 2025. So with Dyanchenko, he was the first person we're talking about on the Vegas Golden Knights prospect watch. And now the second prospect, we're staying in Henderson. We're staying in the AHL. But he is someone who has made an impact recently for Vegas. And of course, we're talking about our 2020 first round pick, Brendan Bryson. And Brendan Bryson, he is a guy who has really had the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, but yet he has shown that he can be a very solid player in the NHL/AHL. Now, for Brendan Bryson, what he has done in Henderson in his limited action has actually been incredible so far. So Brendan Bryson, in his third season playing for the Henderson Silver Knights, 12 goals, 26 points, and 41 games. And this is also a guy in Brendan Bryson who, just like Denisenko earlier, he can drop the gloves. He does his penalty minutes. He did get into some fights earlier in the year. In fact, there was an iconic post from social media where Brendan Bryson had his jersey off. He was skating around with just his equipment on. That was it, because he got into a fight. Very iconic photo now. But with Brendan Bryson, this is someone who at 22 years of age, 1 year younger than Denisenko, he is someone who the Vegas Golden Knights can build around. Brendan Bryson is someone who has become a capable member of the Vegas Golden Knights roster. I mean, last year there was a lot of ifs, ands, or buts about Brendan Bryson. What was his future in Vegas? Was he going to get traded? Was he going to get dealt? But I think a lot of that has gotten past now. And the main reason why is because of his performance. The fact that he has stepped up on the top six in Henderson, and he's become a stellar player for your Vegas Golden Knights and has become a contributor to Henderson. But one more aspect I do have to mention when it comes to Brendan Bryson is what he has done in his limited action in the NHL. Brendan Bryson has been promoted to the NHL multiple times this season. He has been a waiver exempt, so they've sent him up, they've sent him down. They've done it a couple of times this year. But what I like about the Vegas Golden Knights is that in his only 10 games this season, he has scored 4 points for them. But he's also scored his first NHL goal as well. There's also somebody in Brendan Bryson who has found a way to contribute on whatever line he is in. Regardless if he is on the fourth line, regardless if he's on the second line, it really doesn't matter where you put him. But I do want to mention something. Brendan Bryson has played a few games now with William Karlsson and with Jonathan Marchessault. And the 1971-81 line is back. However, with a twist. Now, for anybody who is diehard Vegas Golden Knights fans, you will know that it used to be Riley Smith, William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault. 1971-81. Well, when Riley Smith got dealt to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 2023 NHL offseason, Brendan Bryson had jersey number 19. He got permission from Riley Smith. Riley Smith said to do us proud, stuff like that. So with Brendan Bryson having the number 19, and the fact that he has now been on the same line for a couple of games with William Karlsson, with Jonathan Marchessault, and the fact that he has scored his first ever goal on that line, the fact that he has scored multiple points this season on that line, is it possible that if this line stays around long term, that we could have a 1971, 81, 2.0? So we can still have the same jersey numbers, but instead of it being Smith, Karlsson, Marchessault, how about Bryson, Karlsson, Marchessault? It's just an idea to think about. Because with Brendan Bryson, he could actually be the replacement. He could be the younger version of what Riley Smith was for the Vegas Golden Knights. And he could still keep the same number. He could still have the same line combination. It would just be a different player wearing number 19. And for anybody who's going to ask this question, because I've gotten this before, when I say prospect watch, what do I mean by prospect watch? What is the clarification for being a prospect? What is the rules for being a prospect in hockey? Well, I've put this on here before, but I will do it once again. You are no longer considered an NHL prospect when you have done either one of these two rules. Either A, you have played 50 or more games in the National Hockey League, or B, you have reached the age of 26. So for Dyanchenko, he's 24. Bryson, he's 22. So until Bryson reaches 50 games, until Dyanchenko, he reaches 50 games, they are classified as a prospect according to the NHL rulebook. So for Brennan Bryson and for Gregory Dyanchenko, this is something that I do have to keep on mentioning because some people do wonder when I do these videos. Man, I'm talking about a guy who's 24. I'm talking about someone who's 25. How are they still a prospect? Well, based off the official rulebook, this is the definition of a prospect. According to the NHL rulebook, you have to play a prospect until you play 50 games in the show or you reach the age of 26 or higher. Now that we've gotten that clarification out of the way and we have reached the halfway point of the show, we are going to be getting over and talking about the goaltending side of it because there's always goaltending prospects. We talked about Isaiah Saville on this show. We talked about Yuri Patara on this show. But we have not talked about this man because this guy does not get enough of credit. He does not get talked about nearly enough compared to Isaiah Saville, compared to Yuri Patara, and that is Jesper Vekman. And Jesper Vekman, the 5th round pick by the Vegas Golden Knights in the 2020 NHL draft. Now, Jesper Vekman came over from Sweden. It actually took him a couple of years to eventually earn a spot here in North America. But once he has earned his spot, he has actually excelled when it comes to the Golden Knights organization. Now, for Jesper Vekman, this is somebody who, like I said, he was drafted in the 5th round in 2020, but only 21 years of age. He's going to do pretty well. So, after spending his first season in North America, playing only in the Western Hockey League, last year he had a 1-game appearance in the AHL for the Henderson Silver Knights, but he has also appeared this season in a lot of action for the Vegas Golden Knights. Jesper Vekman, he has actually been playing for the Henderson Silver Knights and Savannah Ghost Pirates. He's been doing double duty. So how has Jesper Vekman done in Henderson in the AHL? Well, in 9 starts this year, 5 wins, 4 losses, goals against average above 3, and a save percentage a little bit under 91%. But here's what I like about Jesper Vekman, is that this is a guy who has shown some confidence when he is at net. This is somebody who has made some solid saves. He has shown some progress. He is elevating his game. He is getting better as time goes on. And if you're the Henderson Silver Knights, that's all you want from a 21-year-old goaltender. You know, from a 21-year-old goaltender, that's what you're looking for, is for a guy who is getting better and is starting to learn his craft and excel at certain points as a goaltender in the minor leagues. So for a guy like Jesper Vekman, he is playing in Henderson. He is going to get some more starts because of the fact Isaiah Saville, Yuri Patara, there's going to be some back and forth there. We've also seen the fact that Jesper Vekman has been sent up and sent down multiple times from Henderson to Savannah. And as you see that photo right there, that was him in the practice for training camp for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, Jesper Vekman's stats with the Savannah Ghost Pirates, he has had this season 6 wins, 5 losses, a goals against average under 2.8, and a save percentage above 91%. So overall, in his tenure in the Savannah Ghost Pirates, his stats are a little bit better than what he has done in Henderson. Now, that shouldn't be surprising considering the ECHL, the Savannah Ghost Pirates, is AA, and the Henderson Silver Knights is the AHL, that is AAA. So to go from AA to AAA, your stats in AA being a little bit better than AAA, it does make some sense. So overall, this season for Jesper Beckman, he has had 11 wins, 9 losses, and a goals against average around 2.9. So for a young 21-year-old who's actually starting his second professional season in professional hockey, this is a guy who is just going to get better with more starts, with more reps. He's going to keep doing better. So Jesper Beckman, like I mentioned, this is somebody who I want to see kind of moving forward. This is someone that, because of his young age, I will not be surprised if 2 years from now we see him as a backup in the NHL or as a starting caliber goalie in the AHL. So once again, we're talking about Jesper Beckman, the 5th round pick in 2020. And this is a guy who I really want to see moving forward. I like his talent. I like what he has done. And I want to see more of him in the future. And before we get to his teammate with the Savannah Ghost Pirates, we are doing our Vegas Golden Knights Prospect Watch here on Vegas Hockey Hub. I'm your host, Ian Rickelli. And the prospects we have talked about so far with the Henderson Silver Knights, we talked about Gregory Dansenko, a first-round pick in 2018, the 2024 AHL All-Star for your Henderson Silver Knights. We have talked about former first-round pick Brendan Brisson, someone who is now earning his chops in the NHL, but still has played majority of the season in the AHL. And then lastly, we just talked about him. That's Jesper Beckman, the goaltender who was selected in the 5th round. He is going back and forth between the AHL and the ECHL. And staying with the Savannah Ghost Pirates, we have to mention this guy, and that is Simeon Panarin. And when it comes to Simeon Panarin, this is somebody who has a really good story to tell. Now, Simeon Panarin was an undrafted free agent. He did not get selected in the NHL draft after coming through juniors. But that did not deter Simeon Panarin. So for Simeon Panarin, this is a guy who at 22 years old, he comes from Quebec. He played in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, but he is entering his first ever season. Get this out and check this out. His first professional season playing professional hockey at 22 years old. He signs as an undrafted free agent with the Vegas Golden Knights. He gets sent to the Savannah Ghost Pirates of the ECHL. And my, oh my, what a good start to his career he has had. As Simeon Panarin, as an undrafted free agent in his first season playing pro hockey, he has 18 goals. He has 18 assists in 44 games. I want everyone to keep this in mind. For a guy who's entering his first ever season playing professional hockey, the fact that this is a guy who has not played anything else but college hockey, had not played anything else but junior hockey, and he is averaging a little under a point per game in AA. This is a feel-good story for the Vegas Golden Knights. The fact that you have a guy like Simeon Panarin who is actually busting his chops and actually is working at his craft, and he is averaging around a point per game. Now, last year, I told you about a similar story. Last year, I told you about a guy who was drafted in the 6th round by the Vegas Golden Knights. His name was Patrick Gay. And Patrick Gay ended up having a career year with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. He eventually earned a roster spot for the Henderson Silver Knights. He has actually done pretty well this season. But Simeon Panarin in 2023-2024 is very similar to Patrick Gay, who we talked about last year. As somebody who was underrated, undervalued, this was a guy who was kind of slept on. He gets selected by the Golden Knights organization as an undrafted free agent, and he has earned his opportunity. So all I can say about Simeon Panarin is that this is a guy that I am happy to see getting a shot with the Vegas Golden Knights. This is someone that I am happy to report was given an opportunity by the Vegas Golden Knights organization, and he has stepped up to the plate, he has swung for the fences, and he is getting on base a lot. And then the other good news for Simeon Pinard is that he has actually spent a little bit of time playing in Henderson. So for a 22-year-old undrafted free agent, he has now played 10 games in the AHL. So this is somebody who went from not being drafted, not being selected, to now earning his spot and even playing select games in AAA hockey. That is a level of respect I have to give. Okay, I have to give a lot of respect to this guy. Because once again, 22 years old, he probably didn't know what he was going to do after being an undrafted free agent. But then he goes to the Vegas Golden Knights organization, and he is killing it right now. So Simeon Pinard, I like what I've seen from him, and this is somebody that I am happy is doing a good job right now. And then we talked about UNLV hockey. I mentioned that UNLV, I was going to talk about them towards the end of the show, and I actually wanted to point out somebody who I have been watching. And for anybody who doesn't know, I go to the UNLV Rebels hockey games. I sit in the stands. I take notes. I try to do video. I want to support UNLV hockey. I love what UNLV hockey is doing. I think what the head coach is doing is fantastic. I like the organization. I like the people involved. It's a good community of people. And I have spotlighted on this show before guys like Cole Wyatt, guys like Bradley Gallant. All right, two players who have done a stand-up job in UNLV for the Skating Rebels. And a matter of fact, we're going to do an entire video on the UNLV Rebels hockey team. That's actually going to be uploaded very soon to the channel. So hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you not miss it. But somebody I want to spotlight is someone who caught my attention for UNLV. Someone who I actually have to say impressed me. You know, it was similar to McCollum, similar to Johnson, similar to Wyatt, similar to Gallant. If you make plays, if you're someone who has shown that they can be a very solid college hockey player, you will get my attention. And Mateus Del Monte has done a really good job for UNLV. In 29 games this season for UNLV, 9 goals, 25 assists, 46 penalty minutes. He stands up for his teammates, not afraid to get his hands dirty. But more importantly, what I respect about Mateus Del Monte, he is someone that when he's on the ice, regardless if it is on the offensive side, on the defensive side, regardless if it's in the neutral zone, regardless of where he is at, he's someone you have to watch out for. When it comes to Del Monte, I like that when he is on the ice, when he's skating around, not only is he helping out his teammates and having his teams back, this is somebody who, throughout his entire time at UNLV, he is someone who you can watch him play, and you know that he is on the ice and he's getting stuff done. And I like about Del Monte that he stands in front of the net. He makes sure guys don't get in front of the goalie. He also sticks up for his guys. He's not afraid to make contact. He's very physical. I like what he's doing for UNLV. And I know that UNLV, they're going to be having a little thing later on. I wish them well. I hope they do well in that situation. But when it comes to the UNLV Skating Rebels, when it comes to Mateus Del Monte, he is my spotlight player of the month. And as UNLV hockey, I wish them well, and I hope that they have a great end of the season. But when it comes to UNLV, I just wanted to do a quick spotlight. I wanted to say that I like what I saw from Mateus Del Monte. I like what I saw on the defensive side, and I appreciate the fact that when it comes to his teammates, if somebody gets knocked down, he is one of the first people to jump on the situation and defend his boys. So, this was our prospect watch for the Vegas Golden Knights, March 2024. And until next time, I'm your host, Ian Rickelli. Continue watching hockey. Go support junior hockey. And go Knights. Go.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.